Alex Ferguson.
Sir Alexander Chapman. Alex Ferguson, CBE, is a former Scottish football manager and player who managed Manchester United from 1986 to 2013. His time at the club has led to Ferguson being regarded as one of the most successful, admired and respected managers in the history of the game. Ferguson managed East Stirlingshire and St Mirren before a highly successful period as manager of Aberdeen. After briefly managing Scotland following the death of Jock Stein, he was appointed manager of Manchester United in November 1986. Ferguson is the longest-serving manager of Manchester United, overtaking Sir Matt Busby's record on December 19, 2010, eventually completing more than 26.5 years as the club's manager. He has won many awards and holds many records, including winning Manager of the Year most times in British football history. In 2008, he became the third British manager to win the European Cup on more than one occasion. He was knighted in 1999 for his services to the game and also holds the Freedom of the City of Aberdeen. On May 8, 2013, Ferguson announced his retirement as manager of Manchester United. During his 26 years at the club, he won 38 trophies, including 13 Premier League and 2 UEFA Champions League titles.
Early life.
Born to Alexander Beaton Ferguson, a plater's helper in the shipbuilding industry, and his wife, Elizabeth (née Hardy), Alex Ferguson was born at his grandmother's home on Childle Road, Govan, on December 31, 1941, but grew up in a tenement at 667 Govan Road, which has since been demolished, where he lived with his parents as well as his younger brother Martin. He attended Broomloan Road Primary School and later Govan High School, and supported Rangers.
Playing career.
Ferguson's playing career began as an amateur with Queen's Park, where he made his debut as a striker aged 16. He described his first match as a nightmare, but scored Queen's Park's goal in a 2-1 defeat against Stranraer. Perhaps his most notable game for Queen's Park was a 7-1 defeat away to Queen of the South on Boxing Day 1959, when ex-England international Ivor Broadus scored 4 of the Queen of the South goals. Ferguson was the solitary Queen's Park goalscorer. Despite scoring 20 goals in his 31 games for Queen's Park, he could not command a regular place in the side and moved to St Johnstone in 1960. Although he continued to score regularly at St Johnstone, he was still unable to command a regular place and regularly requested transfers. Ferguson was out of favour at the club and he even considered emigrating to Canada. However, St Johnstone's failure to sign a forward led the manager to select Ferguson for a match against Rangers, in which he scored a hat-trick in a surprise victory. Dunfermline signed him the following summer, 1964, and Ferguson became a full-time professional footballer. The following season, 1964-65, Dunfermline were strong challengers for the Scottish League and reached the Scottish Cup final, but Ferguson was dropped for the final after a poor performance in the league game against St Johnstone. Dunfermline lost the final 3-2 to Celtic, then failed to win the league by 1 point. The 1965-66 season saw Ferguson notch up 45 goals in 51 games for Dunfermline. Along with Joe McBride of Celtic, he was the top goalscorer in the Scottish League with 31 goals. He then joined Rangers for £65,000, then a record fee for a transfer between 2 Scottish clubs. He was blamed for a goal that they conceded in the 1969 Scottish Cup final, in a match in which he was designated to mark Celtic captain, Billy McNeill, and was subsequently forced to play for the club's junior side instead of for the first team. According to his brother, Ferguson was so upset by the experience that he threw his loser's medal away. There have been claims that he suffered discrimination at Rangers after his marriage to a Catholic, Kathy Holding, but Ferguson himself makes it clear in his autobiography that Rangers knew of his wife's religion when he joined the club and that he left the club very reluctantly, due to the fallout from his alleged cup final mistake. The following October, Nottingham Forest wanted to sign Ferguson, but his wife was not keen on moving to England at that time, so he went to Falkirk instead. He was promoted to player-coach there, but when John Prentice became manager he removed Ferguson's coaching responsibilities. Ferguson responded by requesting a transfer and moved to Ayr United, where he finished his playing career in 1974.
Early managerial career. East Stirlingshire.
In June 1974, Ferguson was appointed manager of East Stirlingshire, at the comparatively young age of 32. It was a part-time job that paid £40 per week, and the club did not have a single goalkeeper at the time. He gained a reputation as a disciplinarian, with club forward Bobby McCauley later saying he had never been afraid of anyone before, but Ferguson was a frightening bastard from the start. The following October, Ferguson was invited to manage St Mirren. While they were below East Stirlingshire in the league, they were a bigger club, and although Ferguson felt a degree of loyalty towards East Stirlingshire, he decided to join St Mirren after taking advice from Jock Stein.
St Mirren.
Ferguson was manager of St Mirren from 1974 until 1978, producing a remarkable transformation of a team in the lower half of the old second division watched by crowds of just over 1,000, to First Division champions in 1977, discovering talent like Billy Stark, Tony Fitzpatrick, Lex Richardson, Frank McGarvey, Bobby Reid and Peter Weir, while playing superb attacking football. The average age of the league-winning team was 19 and the captain, Fitzpatrick, was 20. St Mirren had the distinction of being the only club ever to sack Ferguson. He claimed wrongful dismissal against the club at an industrial tribunal but lost and was given no leave to appeal. According to a Billy Adams Sunday Herald article on May 30, 1999, the official version is that Ferguson was sacked for various breaches of contract including unauthorized payments to players. He was counter-accused of intimidating behavior towards his office secretary because he wanted players to get some expenses tax-free. He didn't speak to her for 6 weeks, confiscated her keys and communicated only through a 17-year-old assistant. The tribunal concluded that Ferguson was particularly petty and immature. It was claimed during the tribunal by St Mirren chairman, Willie Todd, that Ferguson had no managerial ability. On May 31, 2008, The Guardian published an interview with Todd, then aged 87, who had sacked Ferguson many years earlier. Todd explained that the fundamental reason for the dismissal was a breach of contract relating to Ferguson having agreed to join Aberdeen. Ferguson told journalist Jim Roger of the Daily Mirror that he had asked at least one member of the squad to go to Aberdeen with him. He told the St Mirren staff he was leaving. Todd expressed regret over what happened but blamed Aberdeen for not approaching his club to discuss compensation. In 1977, Ferguson turned down the manager's job at Aberdeen. The role went to Billy McNeill, who returned back to Celtic after only a year, leaving the role available for Ferguson once again.
Aberdeen. Late 1970s.
Ferguson joined Aberdeen as manager in June 1978, replacing Billy McNeill, who had only managed the club for one season before he was offered the chance to manage Celtic. Although Aberdeen were one of Scotland's major clubs, they had won the league only once, in 1955 under Dave Halliday. The team had been playing well, however, and had not lost a league match since the previous December, having finished second in the league the previous season. Ferguson had now been a manager for 4 years, but was still not much older than some of the players and had trouble winning the respect of some of the older ones such as Joe Harper. The season did not go especially well, with Aberdeen reaching the semi-final of the Scottish Cup and the Scottish League Cup final, but losing both matches and finishing 4th in the league. Aberdeen lost the 1979-80 Scottish League Cup final, this time to Dundee United after a replay. Ferguson took the blame for the defeat, saying he should have made changes to the team for the replay.
1980s and silverware.
Aberdeen had started the 1979-80 season poorly, but their form improved dramatically in the new year and they won the Scottish League that season with a 5-0 win on the final day. It was the first time in 15 years that the league had not been won by either Rangers or Celtic. Ferguson now felt that he had the respect of his players, later saying that was the achievement which united us. I finally had the players believing in me. He was still a strict disciplinarian, though, and his players nicknamed him Furious Fergie. He fined one of his players, John Hewitt, for overtaking him on a public road, and kicked a tea urn at the players at halftime after a poor first half. He was dissatisfied with the atmosphere at Aberdeen matches, and deliberately created a siege mentality by accusing the Scottish media of being biased towards the Glasgow clubs, to motivate the team. The team continued their success with a Scottish Cup win in 1982. Ferguson was offered the manager's job at Wolves but turned it down as he felt that Wolves were in trouble and ambitions at Aberdeen were not even half fulfilled.
European success.
Ferguson led Aberdeen to even greater success the following season, 1982-83. They had qualified for the European Cup Winners' Cup as a result of winning the Scottish Cup the previous season, and impressively knocked out Bayern Munich, who had beaten Tottenham Hotspur 4-1 in the previous round. According to Willie Miller, this gave them the confidence to believe that they could go on to win the competition, which they did, with a 2-1 victory over Real Madrid in the final on May 11, 1983. Aberdeen became only the third Scottish team to win a European trophy, and Ferguson now felt that he'd done something worthwhile with his life. This was followed up with victory in the European Super Cup in December 1983, when Hamburg, the reigning European Cup champions, were beaten 2-0 over 2 legs. Aberdeen had also performed well in the league that season, and retained the Scottish Cup with a 1-0 victory over Rangers, but Ferguson was not happy with his team's play in that match and upset the players by describing theirs as a disgraceful performance in a televised interview after the match, a statement he later retracted. After a substandard start to the 1983-84 season, Aberdeen's form improved and the team won the Scottish League and retained the Scottish Cup. Ferguson was appointed an Officer of the Order of the British Empire, OBE, in the 1984 honours list, and was offered the managers' jobs at Rangers and Arsenal during the season. Aberdeen retained their league title in the 1984-85 season, but had a disappointing season in 1985-86, finishing fourth in the league, although they did win both domestic cups. Ferguson had been appointed to the club's board of directors early in 1986, but that April he told Dick Donald, their chairman, that he intended to leave that summer. Ferguson had been part of coaching staff for the Scottish national side during qualifying for the 1986 World Cup, but manager Jock Stein had collapsed and died on September 10, 1985, at the end of the game in which Scotland qualified from their Group 4 playoff against Australia. Ferguson promptly agreed to take charge of the Scottish national side against the Australians and subsequently at the World Cup. To allow him to fulfill his international duties, he appointed Archie Knox as his co-manager at Aberdeen. However, after Scotland failed to progress past the group stages of the World Cup, Ferguson stepped down as national team manager on June 15, 1986. Around this time, Tottenham Hotspur offered Ferguson the chance to take over from Peter Shreeves as manager, but he rejected this offer and the job went to Luton Town's David Pleat instead. There was also an offer for Ferguson to replace Don Howe as Arsenal manager, but he rejected this offer as well, and fellow Scot George Graham took the post instead. That summer, there had been speculation that he would take over from Ron Atkinson at Manchester United, who had slumped to fourth in the English top flight after a 10-match winning start had made title glory seem inevitable. It was not the first time that Ferguson had been linked with a move to England. In February 1982, Wolverhampton Wanderers had approached him about succeeding John Barnwell as manager as they were heading for relegation from the First Division. He rejected this offer, perhaps concerned about the club's financial stability, as they were more than £2 million in debt at the time and narrowly avoided going out of business. At the end of the 1984-85 season, it was reported that Ferguson was being considered for the Liverpool manager's job after the retirement of Joe Fagan was announced, but the job was quickly accepted by Liverpool striker Kenny Dalglish. Although Ferguson remained at Aberdeen over the summer, he did eventually join Manchester United when Atkinson was sacked in November 1986.
Manchester United. Appointment and first years.
Ferguson was appointed manager at Old Trafford on November 6, 1986. He was initially worried that many of the players, such as Norman Whiteside, Paul McGrath and Brian Robson, were drinking too much and was depressed by their level of fitness, but he managed to increase the players' discipline and United climbed up the table to finish the season in 11th place, having been 21st, second from bottom, when he took over. His first game in charge was a 2-0 defeat at underdogs Oxford United on November 8, followed 7 days later by a goalless draw at newly promoted Norwich City, and then his first win, 1-0 at home to QPR, on November 22. Results steadily improved as the season went on, and by the time they recorded what would be their only away win of the league campaign at title challengers and deadly rivals Liverpool on Boxing Day, it was clear that United were on the road to recovery. 1987 began on a high note with a 4-1 victory over Newcastle United, and United gradually pulled together in the second half of the season, with relatively occasional defeats on the way, and finished 11th in the final table. Ferguson's mother, Elizabeth, died of lung cancer, aged 64, 3 weeks after his appointment. Ferguson appointed Archie Knox, his assistant at Aberdeen, as his assistant at Manchester United in 1986. In the 1987-88 season, Ferguson made several major signings, including Steve Bruce, Viv Anderson, Brian McClare and Jim Leighton. The new players made a great contribution to a United team who finished in second place, 9 points behind Liverpool. However, Liverpool's points lead had been in double digits for most of the season, and while United had lost only 5 league games all season, they drew 12 games, and there was clearly still some way to go before United could be a match for their northwestern rivals. United were expected to do well when Mark Hughes returned to the club 2 years after leaving for Barcelona, but the 1988-89 season was a disappointment for them, finishing 11th in the league and losing 1-0 at home to Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup 6th round. They had begun the season slowly, going on a 9-match winless run throughout October and November, with 1 defeat and 8 draws, before a run of generally good results took them to 3rd place and the fringes of the title challenge by mid-February. However, another run of disappointing results in the final quarter of the season saw them fall down to mid-table. During the season, United played in friendly matches against the Bermudan national team and Somerset County Cricket Club as part of the Bermudan team's tour of England. In the match against Somerset, both Ferguson himself and his assistant, Archie Knox, took to the field, with Knox even getting on the scoresheet. The match remains Ferguson's only appearance for the Manchester United first team. For the 1989-90 season, Ferguson further boosted his squad by paying large sums of money for midfielders Neil Webb, Mike Phelan and Paul Ince, as well as defender Gary Pallister and winger Danny Wallace. This season began well with a 4-1 win over defending champions Arsenal on the opening day, but United's league form quickly turned sour. In September, United suffered a humiliating 5-1 away defeat against fierce rivals Manchester City. Following this and an early season run of 6 defeats and 2 draws in 8 games, a banner declaring 3 years of excuses and it's still crap. Tara Fergie was displayed at Old Trafford, and many journalists and supporters called for Ferguson to be sacked. Ferguson later described December 1989 as the darkest period ever suffered in the game, as United ended the decade just outside the relegation zone. However, Ferguson later revealed that the board of directors had assured him that they were not considering dismissing him. Although naturally disappointed with the lack of success in the league, they understood the reasons for the substandard results, namely the absence of several key players due to injury, and were pleased with the way that Ferguson had reorganized the club's coaching and scouting system. Following a run of 7 games without a win, Manchester United were drawn away to Nottingham Forest in the 3rd round of the FA Cup. Forest were performing well that season and were in the process of winning the League Cup for the 2nd season running, and it was expected that United would lose the match and Ferguson would consequently be sacked, but United won the game 1-0 due to a Mark Robins goal and eventually reached the final. This cup win is often cited as the match that saved Ferguson's Old Trafford career, even though it has since been stated that his job was never at risk. United went on to win the FA Cup, beating Crystal Palace 1-0 in the final replay after a 3-3 draw in the first match, giving Ferguson his first major trophy as Manchester United manager. United's defensive frailties in the first match were unilaterally blamed on goalkeeper Jim Leighton, forcing Ferguson to drop his former Aberdeen player and bring in Les Sealey.
The first league title.
Although United's league form improved greatly in 1990-91, they were still inconsistent and finished 6th. There were some excellent performances that season, including a 6-2 demolition of Arsenal at Highbury, but results like an early 2-1 loss at newly promoted Sunderland, a 4-0 September hammering by Liverpool at Anfield, and a 2-0 home defeat by Everton in early March, the game where 17-year-old hot prospect Ryan Giggs made his senior debut, showed that United still had some way to go. Even after the FA Cup final victory in the previous season, some still had doubts about Ferguson's ability to succeed where all the other managers since Busby had failed to win the league title. They were runners-up in the League Cup, losing 1-0 to Sheffield Wednesday. They also reached the final of the European Cup Winners' Cup, beating that season's Spanish champions Barcelona 2-1. After the match, Ferguson felt that United would win the league the following season, and at long last he seemed to have won over the last of his skeptics after nearly 5 years in the job. During the 1991 close season, Ferguson's assistant Archie Knox departed to Glasgow Rangers to become assistant to Walter Smith, and Ferguson promoted youth team coach Brian Kay to the role of assistant manager in Knox's place. He also made 2 major signings, goalkeeper Peter Schmeichel and defender Paul Parker, to bolster his side. There was much anticipation about the breakthrough of the young Ryan Giggs, who had played twice and scored once in the 1990-91 campaign, and the earlier emergence of another impressive young winger in the shape of Lee Sharp, who despite their youth had made Ferguson feel able to resist plunging into the transfer market and buying a new player to take over from the disappointing Danny Wallace on the left wing. He had also added the Ukrainian Andrei Kanchelskis to the right wing, giving him a more attacking alternative to older right-footed midfielders Mike Phelan and Brian Robson. The 1991-92 season did not live up to Ferguson's expectations and, in Ferguson's words, many in the media felt that mistakes had contributed to the misery. United won the League Cup and Super Cup for the first time, but lost out on the league title to rivals Leeds United after leading the table for much of the season. A shortage of goals and being held to draws by teams they had been expected to beat in the second half of the campaign had proved to be the undoing of United's side who had performed so well in the first half of the season. Ferguson felt that his failure to secure the signing of Mick Harford from Luton Town had cost United the league, and that he needed an extra dimension to the team if they were to win the league the following season. During the 1992 close season, Ferguson went on the hunt for a new striker. He first attempted to sign Alan Shearer from Southampton, but lost out to Blackburn Rovers. He also made at least one approach for the Sheffield Wednesday striker David Hurst, but manager Trevor Francis rejected all offers and the player stayed put. In the end, he paid £1 million for 23-year-old Cambridge United striker Dion Dublin, his only major signing of the summer. After a slow start to the 1992-93 season, they were 10th of 22 at the beginning of November. It looked as though United would miss out on the league title, now the Premier League, yet again. However, after the purchase of French striker Eric Cantona from Leeds United for £1.2 million, the future of Manchester United, and Ferguson's position as manager, began to look bright. Cantona formed a strong partnership with Mark Hughes and fired the club to the top of the table, ending United's 26-year wait for a league championship, and also making them the first ever Premier League champions. United had finished champions with a 10-point margin over runners-up Aston Villa, whose 1-0 defeat at Oldham on May 2, 1993 had given United the title. Ferguson was voted Manager of the Year by the League Managers Association.
1993-95, double win and loss.
The 1993-94 season brought more success. Ferguson added Nottingham Forest's 22-year-old midfielder Roy Keane to the ranks for a British record fee of £3.75 million as a long-term replacement for Brian Robson, who was nearing the end of his career. United led the 1993-94 Premier League table virtually from start to finish. Ferguson was the very first winner of the Premier League Manager of the Month award, introduced for the start of the 1993-94 season, when he collected the accolade for August 1993. Cantona was top scorer with 25 goals in all competitions despite being sent off twice in the space of 5 days in March 1994. United also reached the League Cup final but lost 3-1 to Aston Villa, managed by Ferguson's predecessor, Ron Atkinson. In the FA Cup final, Manchester United achieved an impressive 4-0 scoreline against Chelsea, winning Ferguson his second league and cup double, following his Scottish Premier Division and Scottish Cup titles with Aberdeen in 1984-85, though the League Cup final defeat meant that he had not yet achieved a repeat of the treble that he had achieved with Aberdeen in 1983. Ferguson made only one close season signing, paying Blackburn Rovers PS £1.2 million for David May. There were newspaper reports that Ferguson was also going to sign highly rated 21-year-old striker Chris Sutton from Norwich City, but the player headed for Blackburn Rovers instead. 1994-95 was a harder season for Ferguson. Cantona assaulted a Crystal Palace supporter in a game at Selhurst Park, and it seemed likely he would leave English football. An 8-month ban saw Cantona miss the final 4 months of the season. He also received a 14-day prison sentence for the offence, but the sentence was quashed on appeal and replaced by a 120-hour community service order. On the brighter side, United paid a British record fee of £7 million for Newcastle's prolific striker Andy Cole, with young winger Keith Gillespie heading to the northeast in exchange. This season also saw the breakthrough of young players Gary Neville, Nicky Butt and Paul Scholes, who provided excellent cover for the long periods that United were left without some of their more experienced stars. However, the championship slipped out of Manchester United's grasp as they drew 1-1 with West Ham United on the final day of the season, when a win would have given them the third successive league title. United also lost the FA Cup final in a 1-0 defeat to Everton.
1995-98.
Ferguson was heavily criticised in the summer of 1995 when 3 of United's star players were allowed to leave and replacements were not bought. First, Holland's move to Internazionale of Italy for £7.5 million. Long-serving striker Mark Hughes was suddenly sold to Chelsea in a second £1.5 million deal, and Andrei Kanchelskis was sold to Everton. Ferguson made an approach for Tottenham Hotspur winger Darren Anderton, but the player signed a new contract with the North London club. He then made a bid to sign Dutchman Mark Overmars from Ajax, the European Cup winners, but the player suffered a serious knee injury and was ruled out for months. Media reports suggested that United were going to make an approach for Juventus and Italy forward Roberto Baggio, who was generally regarded as the best player in the world at that time, but the player remained in his homeland and signed for Milan instead. It was widely known that Ferguson felt that United had a number of young players who were ready to play in the first team. The youngsters, who would be known as Fergie's fledglings, included Gary Neville, Phil Neville, David Beckham, Paul Scholes and Nicky Butt, who would all go on to be important members of the team. And so the 1995-96 season began without a major signing, at a time when the likes of Arsenal, Liverpool and Newcastle United were making the headlines with big money signings. A youthful United team lost 3-1 in their opening league game of the 1995-96 season, against Aston Villa. On Match of the Day, pundit Alan Hansen criticized their performance, ending his analysis with the words, "You can't win anything with kids." United won their next 5 matches and were boosted by the return of Cantona, who made his comeback against Liverpool in October 1995. For much of the season, the team trailed league leaders Newcastle United and found themselves 10 points behind by Christmas. This later was narrowed to 7 points after defeating them on December 27, 1995. The gap increased to 12 points, but a series of wins, coupled with Newcastle dropping points, meant by late March, United moved to the top of the table. A hard-fought win against Leeds United in April prompted Ferguson to accuse his opponents of cheating their manager. In a televised outburst after his team's win against Leeds, Newcastle manager Kevin Keegan responded angrily to Ferguson's comments, "We're still fighting for this title, and he's got to go to Middlesbrough. I would love it if we beat them, love it." A win against Middlesbrough on the final day sealed the title for United, and the team beat Liverpool by 0-0 to win the 1996 FA Cup final. This was their second double in 3 years. A week after the cup final, Ferguson agreed a 4-year contract to remain at United. United won their 4th league title in 5 seasons at the end of the 1996-97 campaign, made easier by the fact that their rivals were not up to the job. Under Ferguson, The team made a better go in the Champions League and reached the semi-final stage for the first time in 28 years. United did not advance any further, after defeat to Borussia Dortmund of Germany. Norwegian signings Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Ronnie Johnson were the notable additions to the squad, with the former ending the season as the club's top goal scorer. In May 1997, Cantona informed Ferguson his decision to retire from football. The player felt exploited by United's merchandising department and questioned the ambition of the club, reasons which Ferguson understood. Striker Teddy Sheringham was signed as Cantona's replacement from Tottenham Hotspur, with Blackburn defender Henning Berg the other significant purchase that summer. In the close season, United appointed Keane as their new captain. Ferguson described him as the best all-round player in the game after the team's 1997 FA Charity Shield win and believed Keane had all the right ingredients to succeed from Cantona. Defeat to Leeds United in September 1997 was the team's first league loss in 7 months. Keane during the match injured himself and was subsequently ruled out for the rest of the season with ligament damage. Schmeichel was placed as captain in his absence. By November, United opened up a 4-point lead in the league, which prompted talk of whether any team could catch them. After Arsenal's defeat of United in the same month, Ferguson acknowledged a one-horse race was not good for the game and admitted his opponents deserved to win on their second-half performance. The fallibilities of Liverpool, Chelsea and Blackburn Rovers as league challengers allowed United during the winter to extend their lead by 11 points, albeit with Arsenal having games in hand. This was enough for Manchester bookmaker Fred Dunn to pay out on punters who backed the champions retaining their title. United in other competitions fared poorly. They went out of the FA Cup in a replay to Barnsley and were eliminated in the quarter-final stage of the Champions League against AS Monaco on away goals. Arsenal closed the gap on United in March and a winning goal from their winger Marc Overmars when the two teams met at Old Trafford handed them the initiative. Ferguson was bullish of his team's chances despite the setback and insisted that Arsenal will find that they start dropping points towards the end of the season, there's no question about that. Arsenal however collected maximum points, sealing the title with a win against Everton on May 3, 1998. Ferguson congratulated his opponent Arsene Wenger, who in his first full season at the club, later completed the double. I think it's good for my young players to lose on this occasion. I wholeheartedly acknowledge what Arsenal achieved between Christmas and the end of the season. United straight after paid PS £10.75 million for PSV defender Jock Stein, a new club record fee. Ferguson wanted to strengthen the squad's attacking options and identified Aston Villa's Dwight Yorke as his main target. Attempts to sign Yorke were rebuffed at first, before Ferguson persuaded Edwards to increase United's initial offer of PS £10 million. A second £12.6 million deal was reached a week into the league campaign. Yorke signed minutes before the deadline to submit United's squad for the Champions League.
1998-99, treble success.
United opened the 1998-99 season with a 3-0 loss to Arsenal in the 1998 FA Charity Shield. The beating did not concern Ferguson, though he described this team's defeat to Arsenal in September 1998 as a lot less tolerable. In December 1998, Kidd left his role as assistant to become the manager at Blackburn Rovers. Ferguson instructed Eric Harrison and Les Kershaw to find suitable replacements, in terms of coaching ability and work ethic. Both recommended Steve McLaren, the assistant to Jim Watt at Derby County. McLaren was Ferguson's initial choice and appointed him in February 1999. His first game as assistant was United's 8-1 victory over Nottingham Forest. Ferguson felt United's bid to regain the Premier League began indifferently because of their commitments to other competitions. He was willing to pay for the progress made in the Champions League. The team finished second in their Champions League group of death, behind Bayern Munich and ahead of Barcelona. United's win against Liverpool in the FA Cup fourth round was a portent for the remainder of the season. A goal down after 3 minutes, the team equalized only until the 86th minute and scored the winning goal through Solskjaer in stoppage time. On reflection, Ferguson said it was a demonstration of the morale that was to be every bit as vital as rich skill in the 5 months that lay ahead of United. In the final weeks of the league season, Arsenal emerged as a creditable challenger to United. Both clubs were also paired together in the semi-final of the FA Cup, decided by a replay as the original game finished goalless. Keane was sent off in the second half and United conceded a penalty late into the match with the score 1-1. Dennis Bergkamp's effort was saved by Schmeichel. Ferguson hoped his team could at least take it to a penalty shootout, but instead the match was settled in extra time. Giggs ran the length of the pitch and evaded several Arsenal players to score the winning goal. United went on to beat Newcastle United in the 1999 FA Cup final and completed the double. A week earlier the team defeated Tottenham Hotspur to regain the Premier League. United's progression in the Champions League was promising compared to previous seasons. The team eliminated Inter Milan at the quarter-final stage and faced Juventus in the last four of the competition. A late goal scored by Giggs in the first leg earned the team a 1-1 draw, but in spite of conceding an away goal, Ferguson was adamant of United's chances of reaching the final. "Something tells me we are going to win. The nature of our club is that we torture ourselves so much that the only way to get relief is by winning over there." At the Stadio dell'Alpi, striker Filippo Inzaghi scored twice to put Juventus 3-1 up on aggregate. Keane headed in a Beckham cross to have the deficit, but was later shown a yellow card for a foul on Edgar Davids, which prevented him from playing in the final. York equalized, before Cole added a third to win the match outright. Keane's performance merited praise from Ferguson. Days after the FA Cup final, United travelled to Barcelona, the setting for the 1999 UEFA Champions League final. Ferguson contemplated his team's selection against Bayern Munich. Suspensions to Scholes and Keane ruled both players out of the match. Beckham was positioned in centre midfield, while Giggs moved to the right wing and Blomqvist started on the left, changes the manager felt would prevent the opposition from playing narrow. United conceded in the first 6 minutes of the final, from a Mario Baszler's free kick. Sheringham, who came on for Blomqvist, equalized from a corner in the first minute of additional time. McLaren told Ferguson to get the team organised for extra time, to which he replied, "Steve, this game isn't finished." 3 minutes into added time, Solskjaer scored the winner, which for United completed an unprecedented treble. Ferguson, interviewed moments after, said, "I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Football, bloody hell." But they never gave in and that's what won it. He and Schmeichel, the stand-in captain, jointly lifted the cup during the trophy presentation. A crowd of over 500,000 people turned out on the streets of Manchester to greet the players, who paraded through the city in an open-top bus. As European champions, United were invited to play in the Intercontinental Cup. The club also entered the inaugural Club World Championship, which was held in Brazil. This brought about a potential fixture congestion, so United accepted the FA's recommendation of withdrawing from the FA Cup, the first holders to do so. In later years, Ferguson elaborated on the club's decision, "We did it to help England's World Cup bid. That was a political situation. I regretted it because we got nothing but stick and terrible criticism for not being in the FA Cup when really, it wasn't our fault."
1999 to 2002, title hat-trick, retirement plan.
Schmeichel's decision to leave United after 8 seasons prompted Ferguson to bring in replacements, Mark Bosnich from Aston Villa and Italian Massimo Tabi. The latter featured in 4 matches, the last of which a 5-0 defeat at Chelsea in October 1999. He was not selected again by Ferguson. United ended the 1999-2000 league season as champions, with just 3 defeats and a record points margin of 18. In December 1999, the club beat Palmeiras in Tokyo to win the Intercontinental Cup, but a month later exited with apathy at the Club World Championship. United failed to retain the Champions League. Out in the quarter-final stage to eventual winners Real Madrid, Ferguson sought to strengthen his squad and signed Fabien Barthez from Monaco for PS £7.8 million. He also monitored the progress of Ruud van Nistelrooy, a striker of the highest caliber. He met the player and his agent in Manchester to discuss formalities and was informed of Van Nistelrooy's troubled right knee. Ferguson was not agitated by this. He recalled from experience a similar niggle that did not stop his playing career. Van Nistelrooy, however, failed his medical, but Ferguson reassured him that we might yet find a way out of the nightmare. The deal was resurrected in April 2001, for a British record transfer fee of £19 million. In the 2000 January season, United retained the league title for a third season, becoming only the fourth side in history to do so. The achievement was overshadowed by reports of a rift between the club's board and Ferguson. He told the club's television channel MUTV that he was prepared to sever all ties with the club. Once his contract ended the following year, the decision has been taken. I'm going to leave the club. I'm disappointed with what has happened because I was hoping something would be sorted out. It hasn't happened as I thought it would, and that's all there is to it. Both parties eventually reached a compromise which pleased Ferguson. I am delighted we've settled this. When you have been at the club as long as I have, it gets in your blood. Ferguson's decision to retire came about because he perceived his chances of winning a second European Cup as imponderable. Age was another factor. Reaching 60 acted as a psychological barrier. It changed my sense of my own fitness, my health. In May 2001, McLaren left to become Middlesbrough manager. Jimmy Ryan was named assistant to Ferguson for the duration of the campaign. United once more broke their transfer record with the purchase of Juan Sebastian Veron from Lazio for a reported £28.1 million. In August 2001, Stam was transferred to Lazio for £16 million. The player reportedly moved because of claims in his autobiography Head to Head. Stam implied that Ferguson illegally contacted him about a move to Manchester United, before informing PSV. Ferguson said he sold the player because the club needed to cut back on its massive wage bill. He replaced the defender with Laurent Blanc, a long sought-after target. In an interview with Alistair Campbell 8 years after, Ferguson described his biggest mistake at the club was letting go of Jock Stein. No question. The club endured a poor first half to the season and languished in 9th position after a home defeat to West Ham in December 2001. On the night of Christmas Day, Ferguson shelved his retirement plan. His family convinced him to remain in charge of United. Kathy bluntly listed her reasoning: 1. Your health is good. 2. I'm not having you in the house. And 3. You're too young anyway. Ferguson informed Watkins of his U-turn the following day and resumed work at once. Once Ferguson publicised his decision to remain in February 2002, United's form improved. The team won 13 out of 15 matches, though finished third in the league behind Arsenal and Liverpool. United was unsuccessful in Europe, losing their Champions League semi-final on away goals to Bayer Leverkusen. Early exits from the League Cup and FA Cup meant they ended the season trophyless. Ferguson himself admitted that the decision to pre-announce his retirement had resulted in a negative effect on the players and on his ability to impose discipline.
2002 to 2005, Rebuilding and Transition.
In June 2002, Ferguson appointed Carlos Queiroz as his new assistant. The recommendation came from Andy Roxburgh, at a time when United began scouting for Southern Hemisphere footballers and wanted a multilingual coach. Ferguson was so impressed with Queiroz after their first meeting, he offered him the job right away. In July 2002, United paid £29.3 million for Leeds United defender Rio Ferdinand. The club broke the British transfer record once more, though this did not concern Ferguson. We have the right to try and improve ourselves, and there's nothing wrong with that. The 2002 March season began rather poorly for United. The club made its worst start to a league campaign in 13 years. In a column for the Daily Telegraph, Hansen said Ferguson will recognise this difficult start to the season for what it is, the greatest challenge of his career. Ferguson's response was typically bullish. Several players were sent away for surgery in this period, a minor gamble Ferguson took in the hope they would return energised. Defeats, such as the one to Manchester City at Main Road in November 2002, forced United to change their playing style. The team moved the ball forward more and quicker rather than concentrating on possession ratios, and the coaching staff tried accommodating Forlan with Van Nistelrooy, before settling with Scholes. United's league form improved as the season went on despite defeat to Liverpool in the 2003 Football League Cup final, and they overhauled Arsenal to win the Premier League for an 8th time in May 2003. The team was eliminated in the Champions League quarter-final to Real Madrid over 2 legs. Ferguson described the second match, a 4-3 win at Old Trafford, as epic. After a season at United, Queiroz left to manage Real Madrid in June 2003. Ferguson anticipated his deputy would return 3 months later. He was wanting to quit Madrid, and for that reason did not appoint a replacement. In the summer, Beckham also moved to Real Madrid, while Mirren joined Chelsea. United in the meantime rebuilt their team. Tim Howard replaced Barthez in goal, and Cleberson, Eric Djemba and Cristiano Ronaldo came in to bolster the squad. Ronaldinho might have also joined had he not said yes, then no, to our offer. Ferguson admitted the signings the club made did not work out. In hindsight, we rushed down the path of buying unproven players, who we thought would match our standards right away. In December 2003, Ferdinand was banned from playing football for 8 months after he failed to present himself at a drugs test. Ferguson in his autobiography 10 years later blamed the drug testers, who didn't do their job. They didn't go looking for Rio. The absence of Ferdinand hampered United's defense of the Premier League in the 2003 April season. The team finished third behind Arsenal's Invincibles and Chelsea. In Europe they experienced defeat at the hands of eventual winners Porto. Ferguson felt it was possible not because of the performance of the players but because of the referee, who disallowed a legitimate Scholes goal that would have been enough to progress. United ended the campaign as FA Cup winners, beating Millwall 3-0 in the 2004 final. At the beginning of the 2004 May season, teenage striker Wayne Rooney, the world's most expensive teenager at more than $20 million, and Argentine defender Gabriel Heinz joined United, while Cristiano Ronaldo continued where he had left off the previous season by putting in more match-winning performances. But the lack of a striker after Van Nistelrooy spent most of the season injured saw the club finish third for the third time in 4 seasons. In the FA Cup they lost on penalties to Arsenal. A second-round exit from the European Cup at the hands of AC Milan and a semi-final exit from the League Cup at the hands of eventual winners Chelsea, who also clinched the Premier League title, meant that 2004-05 was a rare instance of a trophyless season for United. Ferguson's preparations for the season were disrupted by a high-profile dispute with major shareholder John McNair over the ownership of the racehorse Rock of Gibraltar. When McNair and business partner J.P. McManus agreed to sell their shares to American business tycoon Malcolm Glazer, it cleared the way for Glazer to acquire full control of the club. This sparked violent protest from United fans, and disrupted Ferguson's plans to strengthen the team in the transfer market. In spite of this, United looked to solve their goalkeeping and midfield problems. For this, they signed the Dutch keeper Edwin van der Sar from Fulham and Korean star Park Ji-sung from PSV. This season was one of transition. On November 18, Roy Keane officially left the club, his contract ended by mutual consent. United failed to qualify for the knockout phase of the UEFA Champions League. In the January transfer window, Serbian defender Nemanja Vidic and French fullback Patrice Evra were signed, and the side finished in second place in the league, behind runaway leaders Chelsea. Winning the League Cup was a consolation prize for lack of success elsewhere. Ruud van Nistelrooy's future at Old Trafford seemed to be in doubt after not starting in the League Cup final, and he departed at the end of the season.
Second European Champions League.
In 2006, Michael Carrick was signed as a replacement for Roy Keane for PS £14 million, although the figure may eventually rise in the future to PS £18.6 million depending on appearances and results. United started the season well, and for the first time ever won their first 4 Premier League games. They set the early pace in the Premier League and never relinquished top spot from the 10th match of the 38-game season. The January 2006 signings had a huge impact on United's performances. Patrice Evra and Nemanja Vidic came in to form a solid backline along with already existing players Rio Ferdinand and skipper Gary Neville. The signing of Michael Carrick, which was questioned and criticized by a large portion of the media, brought stability and further creativity in the United midfield, forming an effective partnership with Paul Scholes. Park Ji-sung and Ryan Giggs both underlined their value to the first-team squad by adding significant pace and incisiveness in attack with Wayne Rooney and Cristiano Ronaldo. Ferguson celebrated the 20th anniversary of his appointment as manager of Manchester United on November 6, 2006. Tributes also came from Ferguson's players, both past and present, as well as his old foe, Arsene Wenger, his old captain, Roy Keane, and current players. The party was spoiled the following day when United endured a single-goal defeat at the hands of Southampton in the fourth round of the League Cup. However, on December 1 it was announced that Manchester United had signed 35-year-old Henrik Larsson on loan, a player that Ferguson had admired for many years and attempted to capture previously. On December 23, 2006, Cristiano Ronaldo scored the club's 2000th goal under the helm of Ferguson in a match against Aston Villa. Manchester United subsequently won their 9th Premier League title but were denied a unique fourth double by Chelsea's Didier Drogba scoring a late goal in the FA Cup final at Wembley. In the Champions League, the club reached the semi-finals, recording a 7-1 home win over Roma in the quarter-final second leg, but lost at the San Siro to Milan 3-0 in the second leg of the semi-final after being 3-2 up from the first leg. Still, it was a strong sign that United were on their way back to dominance after a couple of years of being overshadowed by Arsenal and more particularly Chelsea. For the 2007 August season, Ferguson made notable signings to reinforce United's first team. Long-term target Owen Hargreaves joined from Bayern Munich, bringing an end to a year of negotiations. Ferguson further bolstered the midfield with the additions of young Portuguese winger Nani and Brazilian playmaker Anderson. The last summer's signing was of West Ham United and Argentina striker Carlos Tevez after a complex and protracted transfer saga. United had its worst start to a season under Ferguson, drawing their first 2 league games before suffering a 1-0 defeat to local rivals Manchester City. However, United recovered and began a tight race with Arsenal for the title. After a good run of form, Ferguson claimed that throughout his time at Manchester United, this was the best squad he had managed to assemble thus far. On February 16, 2008, United beat Arsenal 4-0 in an FA Cup fifth-round match at Old Trafford, but were knocked out by eventual winners Portsmouth, a mid-table side in the league, in the quarter-final on March 8, losing 1-0 at home. United having had a penalty claim turned down, Ferguson alleged after the game that Keith Hackett, general manager of the Professional Game Match Officials Board, was not doing his job properly. Ferguson was subsequently charged by the FA with improper conduct, which he decided to contest. This was the second charge Ferguson faced in this season, following his complaints against the referee after United lost 1-0 at Bolton Wanderers, a charge he decided not to contest. On May 11, 2008, Ferguson led Manchester United to a 10th Premier League title, exactly 25 years to the day after he led Aberdeen to European glory against Real Madrid in the European Cup Winners' Cup. Nearest rivals Chelsea, level on points going into the final round of matches, but with an inferior goal difference, could only draw 1-1 at home to Bolton, finishing 2 points adrift of the champions. United's title win was sealed with a 2-0 win over Wigan Athletic, managed by former United captain Steve Bruce. On May 21, 2008, Ferguson won his second European Cup with Manchester United as they beat Chelsea 6-5 on penalties in the Luzhniki Stadium in Moscow, following a 1-1 draw after extra time in the first ever All-English UEFA Champions League final. A penalty miss from Cristiano Ronaldo meant that John Terry's spot kick would have given the trophy to Chelsea if successfully converted, but Terry blew his chance of glory and in the end it was Edwin van der Sar's blocking of a Nicolas Anelka penalty which gave the trophy to Manchester United for the second time under Ferguson and for the third time overall. After winning the 2007-08 UEFA Champions League, Ferguson had stated that his intention to leave Manchester United within the next 3 years, meaning that he would be gone by the summer of 2011. Manchester United chief executive David Gill moved quickly to calm the speculation about Ferguson's pending retirement.
Another 2 league titles and league cups.
Although the team had a slow start to the 2008 September season, United won the Premier League with a game to spare, making Ferguson the first manager in the history of English football to win the Premier League 3 times consecutively, on 2 separate occasions. Ferguson had now won 11 league titles at Manchester United, and the 2008 September season title success put them level with Liverpool as league champions on a record 18 occasions in total. They also won the Football League Cup on penalties after a goalless Wembley draw with Tottenham Hotspur. They contested the 2009 Champions League final against FC Barcelona on May 27, 2009 but lost 2-0. After the presentation ceremony, Ferguson conceded that he would stay on at United for as long as his health permitted him and that he would be glad to win the league title once more. This would make United's total league wins one more than rivals Liverpool, becoming the outright leader in total wins. Indiana, 2009-10. Ferguson added another Football League Cup to his honours list as United defeated Aston Villa 2-1 in the Wembley final on February 28, 2010. However, his dreams of a third European Cup were ended a few weeks later when United were edged out of the competition in the quarter-finals by Bayern Munich on away goals. And their hopes of a record 19th league title were ended on the last day of the season when Chelsea beat them to the Premier League title, crushing Wigan Athletic 8-0 and rendering United's 4-0 win over Stoke City meaningless. Around this time, several newspapers carried reports that Ferguson was due to retire at the end of the 2010 November season, but he denied these rumors and insisted that he wants to go out on a high and will not retire during a time of struggle. On August 8, 2010, Ferguson added another FA Community Shield to his honours list as United defeated Chelsea 3-1 in the final in Wembley. On December 19, 2010, Ferguson became Manchester United's longest-serving manager in history, overtaking Matt Busby's record of 24 years, 1 month and 13 days in charge of the club. He ended the season by winning his 12th and Manchester United's 19th league title and thus overtaking Liverpool's record of 18. Manchester United faced Barcelona again on May 28, 2011 in the 2011 UEFA Champions League final, their third in 4 years, but United lost 3-1. Analyst Alan Hansen stated that he believed Ferguson was the key component in United's success that season, so key in fact that would have claimed the crown with any of the other top sides had he been in charge of them. With Edwin van der Sar, Gary Neville and Paul Scholes all retiring in 2011, Ferguson spent big by signing defender Phil Jones from Blackburn Rovers and winger Ashley Young from Aston Villa for around £17 million each, and goalkeeper David De Gea from Atletico Madrid for around £19 million. On September 2, 2012, Ferguson managed his 1,000th league game with United against Southampton. United won the game 3-2 thanks to a hat-trick from Robin van Persie. 2 weeks later, he won his 100th game in the Champions League with a 1-0 win over Galatasaray at Old Trafford.
Retirement.
On May 8, 2013, Ferguson announced that he was to retire as manager at the end of the football season, but would remain at the club as a director and club ambassador. The Guardian announced it was the end of an era, while UEFA President Michel Platini said that Ferguson was a true visionary. British Prime Minister David Cameron described Ferguson as a remarkable man in British football. Former Manchester United players Paul Ince and Brian Robson agreed that Ferguson would be a hard act to follow. Manchester United co-chairman Joel Glazer said his determination to succeed and dedication to the club have been truly remarkable. Ferguson revealed that he had in fact decided that he was going to retire back in December 2012 and that it had been very difficult not to reveal his plans. Ferguson released a second autobiography in October 2013 called My Autobiography.
Controversies. Gordon Strachan.
In his 1999 autobiography, Ferguson stated of Gordon Strachan, "I decided this man could not be trusted an inch. I would not want to expose my back to him in a hurry." Strachan's reaction to the attack, in his own autobiography, My Life in Football, was one of being surprised and disappointed, but did not sue for libel, and more recently they have declared something of a truce.
David Beckham and draw fixing.
In 2003, Ferguson was involved in a dressing room argument with United player David Beckham, resulting in an injury to Beckham, alleged to have been caused by Ferguson kicking a football boot in frustration which hit the player in the face. On April 5, 2003, Ferguson claimed that the Champions League draw was fixed in favor of Spanish and Italian teams, resulting in a fine on May 1 of 10,000 Swiss francs, PS 4600.
Rock of Gibraltar.
In 2003, Ferguson launched legal action against the then major United shareholder John McNair over stud rights for racehorse Rock of Gibraltar. McNair countersued Ferguson by filing a motion to comply requiring Ferguson to substantiate his claim for half of Rock of Gibraltar's stud fees. The legal issues were further compounded by the request for 99 questions to be answered over Ferguson's transfer dealings, including those of Jock Stein, Juan Mirren, Tim Howard, David Bellion, Cristiano Ronaldo and Cleberson. The case was eventually settled out of court.
The BBC.
Ferguson refused to give interviews to the BBC after a documentary called Fergie and Son was shown on BBC Three on May 27, 2004. According to an article in The Independent newspaper, the documentary had portrayed his agent's son, Jason, as somebody who exploited his father's influence and position to his own end in the transfer market. The same newspaper article made it clear that Ferguson Jr. was never found guilty of any wrongdoing, and it quoted Ferguson Sr. as follows, "They did a story about my son that was a whole lot of nonsense. It all made up stuff in brown paper bags and all that kind of carry on. It was a horrible attack on my son's honor and he should never have been accused of that." Subsequent interviews on BBC programs such as Match of the Day were done by his assistant Carlos Queiroz, and later Mike Fallon. Under new Premiership rules intended for the 2010 November season, Ferguson was required to end his BBC boycott. However, he refused to end his boycott and Manchester United confirmed the club would pay the resulting fines. On August 25, 2011, Ferguson met with BBC Director General Mark Thompson and BBC North Director Peter Salmon. The result of the meeting was that Ferguson agreed to end the 7-year boycott.
Recalling of loan players.
Following the sacking of his son Darren by Preston North End, Ferguson immediately recalled loan players Richie Delete, Joshua King and Matty James from Preston under its new managerial system. He later explained that it was the players' own request not to return to Preston after the change of manager. Stoke City manager Tony Pulis followed soon after in recalling 2 former Manchester United players from Preston as well, stating the need for the players to supplement his team's intensive schedule.
Referees.
Ferguson has received numerous punishments for abusing and publicly criticizing match officials when he has perceived them to be at fault. October 20, 2003, 2-match touchline ban and fine PS 10,000 after using abusive and/or insulting words towards 4th official Jeff Winter. December 14, 2007, 2-match touchline ban and fine PS 5,000 after using abusive and/or insulting words towards Mark Clattenburg. November 18, 2008, 2-match touchline ban and fine PS 10,000 after confronting Mike Dean after a game. November 12, 2009, 4-match touchline ban, 2 suspended, and fine PS 20,000 for comments made about the fitness of Alan Whalley. March 16, 2011, 5-match touchline ban, 3 plus the 2 suspended for the above offense, and fine PS 30,000 for comments made questioning the performance and fairness of Martin Atkinson. It has also been suggested that Ferguson's intimidation of referees results in Fergie time, that is, unusually generous injury time being added in matches where Manchester United are behind. The phrase is at least as old as 2004, and a statistical analysis by the Times suggests that this comment might be valid, though the article points out that other footballing criteria may explain the correlation between extra added time and United being behind. Analysis by Opta Sports of Premier League matches played between 2010 and 2012 found on average that 79 seconds more time was played in matches where Manchester United were losing. This was a greater figure than for other top clubs, although most of these clubs seem to benefit from a Fergie time effect, particularly in their home matches.
Legacy.
Many of Ferguson's former players have gone on to become football managers themselves, including Tony Fitzpatrick, Alex McLeish, Gordon Strachan, Mark McGee, Willie Miller, Neil Cooper, Brian Gunn, Eric Black, Billy Stark, Brian Robson, Steve Bruce, Mark Hughes, Roy Keane, Paul Ince, Chris Casper, Darren Ferguson, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Henning Berg. The phrase squeaky bum time, coined by Ferguson in reference to the 10 final stages of a league competition, has been included in the Collins English Dictionary and the Oxford English Dictionary. A bronze statue of Ferguson, designed by Scottish sculptor Philip Jackson, was unveiled outside Old Trafford on November 23, 2012. On October 14, 2013, Ferguson attended a ceremony where a road near Old Trafford was renamed from Waters Reach to Sir Alex Ferguson Way.
Personal life.
Ferguson lives in Wilmslow, Cheshire, with his wife, Kathy Ferguson, née Holding. They married in 1966 and have 3 sons, Mark, born 1968, and twins Darren, born 1972, current manager of Peterborough United and former professional footballer, and Jason, who runs an events management company. In 1998, Ferguson was named in a list of the biggest private financial donors to the Labour Party. He is a self-described socialist and a lifelong Labour voter. In January 2011, Graham Stringer, a Labour MP in Manchester and Manchester United supporter, called for Ferguson to be made a life peer. If this happened, it would make Ferguson the first current or former footballer or football manager to sit in the House of Lords. Stringer and fellow Manchester Labour MP Paul Goggins repeated this call after Ferguson announced his retirement in May 2013. However, unnamed sources in the Daily Mirror newspaper claimed on August 1, 2013 that Ferguson had turned down a peerage. In 2009, Ferguson received honorary doctorate in business administration from the Manchester Metropolitan University. It was the second degree he received from the university, after receiving an honorary master's in 1998. Ferguson has been a vocal supporter and funder of the all-party and non-party Better Together campaign, in favour of Scotland remaining a part of the United Kingdom after the independence referendum in 2014. He has criticised the Scottish National Party, and its leader Alex Salmond, for the decision to exclude Scots who live outside Scotland but within the rest of the United Kingdom from voting in the referendum. He has also objected to the self-imposed rule by the Yes Scotland group against accepting donations from people living outside Scotland of more than £500, which they have urged the No campaign to also adopt. Ferguson and Eamon Holmes won £50,000 for the Manchester United Foundation on a live celebrity version of the quiz Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Honours. Player.
Scottish Football League Division 2, Second Tier, 1, 1962-63. Scottish Football League Division 2, Second Tier, 1, 1969-70.
Managerial.
Ferguson was made an inaugural inductee of the English Football Hall of Fame in 2002 in recognition of his impact on the English game as a manager. In 2003, Ferguson became an inaugural recipient of the FA Coaching Diploma, awarded to all coaches who had at least 10 years' experience of being a manager or head coach. He is the Vice President of the National Football Museum, based in Manchester, and a member of the Executive Committee of the League Managers Association. In addition to being the only manager to win the top league honours, and the double, north and south of the England-Scotland border, winning the Premier League with Manchester United, and the Scottish Premier Division with Aberdeen, he is also the last manager to win the Scottish Championship with a non-Old Firm team, achieving this in the 1984-85 season with Aberdeen. He is also the only manager in English football to have managed to finish in the top 3 league places in 20 consecutive seasons, since the 1991-92 season, with a total of 22 consecutive seasons. On November 5, 2011, the Old Trafford North Stand was officially renamed the Sir Alex Ferguson Stand in honour of his 25 years as manager of Manchester United. He has won 49 trophies as a manager, making him the most successful British football manager in history. Scottish First Division, 1, 1976-77. Scottish Premier Division, 3, 1979-80, 1983-84, 1984-85. Scottish Cup, 4, 1981-82, 1982-83, 1983-84, 1985-86. Scottish League Cup, 1, 1985-86. Drybrough Cup, 1, 1980, UEFA Cup Winners' Cup 1, 1982-83, UEFA Super Cup 1, 1983, Premier League 13, 1992-93, 1993-94, 1995-96, 1996-97, 1998-99, 1999-2000, 2000-01, 2002-03, 2006-07, 2007-08, 2008-09, 2010-11, 2012-13, FA Cup 5, 1989-90, 1993-94, 1995-96, 1998-99, 2003-04, League Cup 4, 1991-92, 2005-06, 2008-09, 2009-10, FA Charity Community Shield 10, 1990, shared, 1993, 1994, 1996, 1997, 2003, 2007, 2008, 2010, 2011, UEFA Champions League 2, 1998-99, 2007-08, UEFA Cup Winners' Cup 1, 1990-91, UEFA Super Cup 1, 1991, Intercontinental Cup 1, 1999, FIFA Club World Cup 1, 2008.
Individual.
LME Manager of the Decade 1, 1990s, League Managers Association Awards LME Manager of the Year 4, 1998-99, 2007-08, 2010-11, 2012-13, LMA Special Merit Award 2, 2009, 2011, Premier League Manager of the Season 11, 1993-94, 1995-96, 1996-97, 1998-99, 1999-2000, 2002-03, 2006-07, 2007-08, 2008-09, 2010-11, 2012-13, Premier League Manager of the Month 27, August 1993, October 1994, February 1996, March 1996, February 1997, October 1997, January 1999, April 1999, August 1999, March 2000, April 2000, February 2001, April 2003, December 2003, February 2005, March 2006, August 2006, October 2006, February 2007, January 2008, March 2008, January 2009, April 2009, September 2009, January 2011, August 2011, October 2012, UEFA Manager of the Year 1, 1998-99, UEFA Team of the Year 2, 2007, 2008, Own Store Coach of the Year 3, 1999, 2007, 2008, IFFH's World's Best Club Coach 2, 1999, 2008, IFFH's World's Best Coach of the 21st Century 1, 2012, World Soccer Magazine World Manager of the Year 4, 1993, 1999, 2007, 2008, Laurie's World Sports Award for Team of the Year 1, 2000, BBC Sports Personality of the Year Coach Award 1, 1999, BBC Sports Personality Team of the Year Award 1, 1999, BBC Sports Personality of the Year Lifetime Achievement Award 1, 2001, BBC Sports Personality Diamond Award 1, 2013, English Football Hall of Fame Manager 2002, European Hall of Fame Manager 2008, FIFA Presidential Award 2011, Premier League 10 Seasons Awards 1992-93-2001-02. Manager of the Decade, Most Coaching Appearances, 392 games. Manager of the Decade, Most Coaching Appearances, 392 games. Premier League 20 Seasons Awards, 1992-93-2011-12. Best Manager, FWA Tribute Award, 1996. PFA Merit Award, 2007, Premier League Merit Award, 2012-13, Musabini Medal, 1999, Northwest Football Awards, 2013. Manager of the Year, Manager of the Year.
Orders and Special Awards.
Officer of the Order of the British Empire, OBE, 1983. Commander of the Order of the British Empire, CB, 1995. Knight Bachelor, KT 1999.
Statistics. As a manager. Notes.
Sir Alexander Chapman Ferguson MuffsInfo.com. Retrieved July 12, 2011. Alex Ferguson London Heart Supporters Club. Retrieved December 5, 2011. Bell, Stephen. Zlutkowski, Andre, June 6, 2008. Scotland's Eye Tour of Asia and Oceania 1967 inches. Rexport Soccer Statistics Foundation. Retrieved March 5, 2011. Russell Hoy. Aaron Smith. Matthew Nicholson. Hans Westerbeek. Bob Stewart, 2009. Sport Management, Volume 1, 2nd edition, Principles and Applications. Elsevier. Pages 168. ISBN 0-7506-8755-X. Sir Alex's Crowning Glory. BBC News July 20, 1999. Retrieved November 6, 2012. Sir Alex honored again. BBC News June 12, 1999. Retrieved November 6, 2012. Sir Alex Ferguson is going to retire at the end of the season. BBC News May 8, 2013. Retrieved May 8, 2013. Barrett, Nick, May 5, 2007. Family Detective. The Telegraph, London. Retrieved October 30, 2009. Barrett, Nick, November 5, 2010. Alex Ferguson Profile. Soccer-magazine.com. Retrieved July 12, 2011. Glasgow Caledonian University, Research Collections, Archives. TheGlasgowStory.com 2009. Archive from the original on July 3, 2011. Retrieved July 12, 2011. Metcalf, Nick, February 2, 2010. Manchester United manager Sir Alex Ferguson gets the hairdryer treatment at last. Legendary boss goes back to school. Daily Mail, London. Retrieved July 12, 2011. Kevins, Hugh, November 23, 2010. Sir Alex Ferguson could have been Rangers boss but he held out for the Manchester UTD job, says Alex McLeish. Daily Record, Scotland. Retrieved July 12, 2011. Latimer, Ian, November 14, 2008. From Queen's Park to King of England, 50 Amazing Years in Football for Fergie. Daily Mail, London. Retrieved July 12, 2011. Crick, pages 33. Details of Queen of the South 7v1 Queen's Park including Ferguson's recollection in the Ivor Broad's career profile. QOSFC.com. Retrieved October 4, 2013. Ferguson reveals earlier Canada emigration plans. ESPN Solchernet. February 4, 2010. Archive from the original on February 6, 2010. Retrieved February 4, 2010. Scotland, list of top scorers. Rexport Soccer Statistics Foundation June 12, 2009. Retrieved October 30, 2009. Crick, pages 82. Crick, pages 83. Crick, pages 86. Reed, Harry, 2005. The Final Whistle? Berlin. Pages 223. ISBN 1-84158-362-6. Ferguson, pages 106-7. Crick, pages 85. Crick, pages 108-9. Lowe, Sid. Scott, Matt. Taylor, Daniel. Brodkin, John, November 23, 2004. A leader of men is what he does best. The Guardian, UK. Retrieved March 9, 2007. Crick, pages 117. A.B. Adams, Billy, May 30, 1999. Sunday Herald St. Mirren article. The Sunday Herald. Retrieved November 9, 2007. Sir Alex lifts the lid. May 4, 2004. Archive from the original on December 27, 2008. Retrieved November 9, 2007. Campbell, Nikki, January 12, 2006. Guardian bullying article. The Guardian, London. Retrieved November 11, 2007. May 31, 1978. Alex Ferguson is fired by St Mirren. The Guardian, UK. May 31, 2008. Retrieved December 29, 2008. Reed, Harry, April 11, 1983. The goal that Alex Ferguson has been chasing all his life. Glasgow Herald. Pages 9. Retrieved January 8, 2014. Crick, pages 159. Crick, pages 171. Crick, pages 174. Crick, pages 175. Crick, pages 179. Crick, pages 180. Crick, pages 191. Crick, pages 195. Crick, pages 196. Crick, pages 201. Crick, pages 203. Crick, pages 204. Lewis had sporting honours. BBC News December 12, 1999. Retrieved June 18, 2007. Ewan Murray. Sir Alex Ferguson rejected 1986 chance to become Arsenal manager. TheGuardian.com. Retrieved October 4, 2013. Fergie steps down. Evening Times. June 16, 1986. Retrieved June 10, 2011. Ferguson almost became Arsenal boss. BBC News June 10, 2009. Archive from the original on June 13, 2009. Retrieved June 10, 2009. Davies, Gareth, May 15, 2009. Top 10 Fergie decisions, saying no to Spurs and Arsenal. The Sun, UK. Retrieved February 25, 2011. Tributes to former Wolves chief Harry Marshall. Express and Star September 30, 2010. Retrieved May 8, 2011. http://news.google.com/ Newspapers ID equal ilza by ampersand sjit equal r6 by ampersand pg equal 5732,6946410 ampersand dq equal Alex plus Ferguson plus Aberdeen ampersand hl equal en. Arise Sir Alex? BBC News May 27, 1999. Retrieved December 3, 2005. Sir Alex Ferguson's 20 years at Manchester United. BBC Sport. November 6, 2006. Retrieved August 11, 2011. Ornstein, David, May 22, 2009. Ferguson hungry for more success. BBC News. Retrieved August 11, 2011. Ferguson, Alex. Peter Fitton, 1993. Just Champion. Manchester United Football Club plc pages 27. ISBN 0-9520509-1-9. A.B. Bevan, Chris, November 4, 2006. How Robin Saved Ferguson's Job. BBC News November 4, 2006. Retrieved August 8, 2008. 20 years and Fergie's won it all. Manchester Evening News November 6, 2006. Retrieved August 8, 2009. A.B. Jones, Ken, May 8, 1997. Recalling the pressure Ferguson was under, the probability is that a 1-0 victory at Forest in the third round of the FA Cup saved him. The Independent, UK. Retrieved August 8, 2009. Ferguson, pages 302. Ferguson, pages 311. Ferguson, pages 320. The highs and lows of Roy Keane's career. The Guardian, London. April 23, 2009. Retrieved July 13, 2011. Pike, Keith, August 21, 1995. Ferguson watches Seeds of Doubt grow. The Times, London. Pages 23. Hanson, Ellen, November 2, 2011. Sir Alex Ferguson 25 years, you can't win anything with kids. BBC Sport. Retrieved May 9, 2013. Tanner, Richard, April 19, 1996. Fergie cheat theory. Daily Mirror, London. Pages 44. 3 Premier League managers whom Fergie made flip, and 1 rival who bit back. The Guardian, London. January 10, 2009. Retrieved May 9, 2013. Maddock, David. May 17, 1996. Ferguson accepts 4-year contract. The Times, London. Pages 48. White, Jim. April 23, 1997. Amazing how other teams keep letting United win. The Guardian, London. Pages 30. Lacey, David. March 20, 1997. United take a stroll into semi-finals. The Guardian, London. Pages 26. Lacey, David. April 24, 1997. Rick and Rex United's dream. The Guardian, London. Pages 28. A.B. Barclay, pages 301-2. Ball, Peter. June 28, 1997. Sheringham handed Cantona's crown. The Times, London. Pages 52. Maddock, David. August 12, 1997. Burke signs up to improve United's case for defence. The Times, London. Pages 44. Kempson, Russell. August 4, 1997. Captain Keane takes over the helm. The Times, London. Pages 23. Shaw, Phil. September 29, 1997. United fail needs intelligence test. The Independent, London. Retrieved July 29, 2009. Ridley, in, November 9, 1997. All red and all conquering. The Independent on Sunday, London. Retrieved May 28, 2012. Lacey, David. November 10, 1997. Plaid stalls United's march. The Guardian, London. Pages 19. Moore, Glenn. March 2, 1998. Now United can focus on Europe. The Independent, London. Retrieved July 29, 2009. Moore, Glenn. March 3, 1998. Ferguson said to call on United's artisan aspect. The Independent, London. Retrieved August 3, 2009. Milling, Joe. April 19, 1998. United reign over Solskjaer send-off as a title dream fades. Mail on Sunday, London. Pages 100. A.B. Milling, Joe. March 15, 1998. Wenger, now do you believe me? Mail on Sunday, London. Pages 104. Hughes, Rob. May 18, 1998. Wenger leading English game towards exit from insularity. The Times, London. Pages 31. Maddock, David. May 6, 1998. Stam's arrival relieves the gloom for United. The Times, London. Pages 41. York on the brink of move to Old Trafford. The Times, London. July 24, 1998. Pages 44. A.B. Wood, Stephen. Kempson, Russell. August 21, 1998. United smash record for York. The Times, London. Pages 48. Lacey, David. August 10, 1998. Wenger's All-Stars write an epitaph to United. The Guardian, London. Pages 21. Stewart, Colin. February 8, 1999. Atkinson left Aidsome reeling after United rout. The Scotsman, Edinburgh. Pages 31. United pull off cup smash and grab. BBC News, BBC. January 24, 1999. Retrieved January 4, 2014. ABCDEFG Holt, Oliver. August 7, 1999. The celebrations begun by that goal will never stop. The Times, London. Pages 36 to 37. Holt, Oliver. April 15, 1999. Giggs' wonder goal is final thrill. The Times, London. Pages 52. Holt, Oliver. April 8, 1999. Giggs throws United a lifeline. The Times, London. Pages 52. ABC Holt, Oliver. April 22, 1999. Heroic United have final word. The Times, London. Pages 56. Manchester United. 500,000 fans greet winning club. The New York Times. May 28, 1999. Retrieved January 5, 2014. United pull out of FA Cup. BBC News, British Broadcasting Corporation. August 30, 1999. Retrieved August 8, 2013. Sir Alex Ferguson, Manchester United's 1999 FA Cup withdrawal was a mistake. The Daily Telegraph, London. December 3, 2009. Retrieved May 16, 2011. Shaw, Phil, May 15, 2000. United fall short of elusive century. The Independent, London. p. A2, Barclay, pages 330-31. Man Utd confirm Bartha's signing. BBC Sport. May 31, 2000. Retrieved May 9, 2013. ABCD Ferguson, Alex, July 25, 2000. How a phone call killed Van Nistelrooy deal. The Times, London. Pages 30. Man Utd clinch Van Nistelrooy deal. BBC Sport. April 23, 2001. Retrieved May 9, 2013. Taylor, Daniel, May 21, 2001. After the United fallout, Ferguson faces up to job and a half. The Guardian, London. Retrieved May 9, 2013. K. Oliver, May 19, 2001. Ferguson cuts Manchester United links. The Times, London. Pages 1. Gaunt, Ken, July 14, 2001. Ferguson is reunited with Old Trafford board. The Herald, Glasgow. Retrieved May 9, 2013. K. Oliver, May 28, 2001. Cantona returns to nurture club's youth. The Times, London. Pages 25. Ferguson is reunited with Old Trafford board. The Daily Telegraph, London. July 12, 2001. Retrieved May 9, 2013. Stam's United dream dies. BBC Sport. August 26, 2001. Retrieved May 9, 2013. AB Stam moved down to cash. BBC Sport. September 2, 2001. Retrieved May 9, 2013. Wilson, Steve, March 19, 2009. Manchester United manager Sir Alex Ferguson doesn't rate Rafa Benitez. The Daily Telegraph, London. Retrieved May 9, 2013. Williams, Richard, December 10, 2001. United undone by Ferguson's failing. The Guardian, London. Retrieved May 9, 2013. Sir Alex Ferguson, the notion of a retirement age is anathema to me. The Guardian, London. May 7, 2013. Retrieved May 8, 2013. K. Oliver, June 7, 2002. United import hell for Ferguson in quest to regain title. The Times, London. Pages 56. Man Utd seal Rio deal. BBC Sport, BBC. July 22, 2002. Retrieved January 6, 2014. Nurse, Howard, May 4, 2003. Ferguson's best yet. BBC Sport, BBC. Retrieved January 6, 2014. Hansen, Alan, September 16, 2002. Ferguson faces greatest challenge of his career. The Daily Telegraph, London. Retrieved January 6, 2014. Walker, Michael, September 28, 2002. Ferguson takes the poison and insists United will prosper. The Guardian, London. Retrieved January 6, 2014. Fletcher, Paul, May 4, 2003. 10 weeks that turned the title. BBC Sport, BBC. Retrieved January 6, 2014. Queiroz joins Real. BBC Sport, BBC. June 25, 2003. Retrieved January 6, 2014. Ferdinand banned for 8 months. BBC Sport, BBC. December 19, 2003. Retrieved January 6, 2014. McCara, Kevin, May 24, 2004. United triumph by taking the job seriously. The Guardian, London. Retrieved May 24, 2004. Fans rage at Glazer takeover move. BBC. May 13, 2005. Retrieved May 8, 2013. Xavier Robbins, Fergie just cannot let go. ESPN Solchernet, November 4, 2006. Retrieved January 11, 2007. Wenger, managers should emulate Ferguson. ESPN Solchernet, November 4, 2006. Retrieved January 11, 2007. Man Utd capture Larson on loan. BBC Sport. December 1, 2006. Archive from the original on January 25, 2007. Retrieved January 11, 2007. Bostock, Adam. December 23, 2006. Report. Villa 0 United 3 inches. Manchester United FC archive from the original on December 24, 2008. Retrieved June 18, 2007. Whittle, Ian, November 12, 2007. Ferguson, this is the best squad I've ever had. The Daily Telegraph, UK. Archive from the original on November 14, 2007. Retrieved November 27, 2007. Queiroz could step up to boss United when Sir Alex decides to call it a day. London, Mail Online, UK. May 25, 2008. Archive from the original on May 26, 2008. Retrieved May 27, 2008. Wheeler, Chris, May 25, 2008. Fergie won't be retiring for some while yet, insists Manchester United chief Jill. London, Mail Online, UK. Archive from the original on May 27, 2008. Retrieved May 27, 2008. Ferguson wants to end on a high. Club call. May 15, 2010. Archive from the original on July 8, 2011. Retrieved May 27, 2011. Cass, Bob, December 12, 2010. Sir Alex Ferguson set to pass Sir Matt Busby's United milestone. Daily Mail, UK. Retrieved December 17, 2010. Hansen, Alan, June 23, 2011. Sir Alex Ferguson must rebuild Manchester United despite 19th title. BBC Sport. Retrieved June 27, 2011. Man Utd midfielder Paul Scholes retires aged 36 inches. BBC Sport. May 31, 2011. Archive from the original on July 15, 2011. Retrieved June 27, 2011. Manchester United secured deal for Blackburn's Phil Jones. BBC Sport. June 13, 2011. Archive from the original on June 24, 2011. Retrieved June 27, 2011. Ashley Young joins Man Utd from Aston Villa. BBC Sport. June 23, 2011. Archive from the original on June 24, 2011. Retrieved June 27, 2011. Manchester United confirms signing of David De Gea. BBC Sport. June 29, 2011. Archive from the original on July 28, 2011. Retrieved July 18, 2011. Sir Alex Ferguson to retire as Manchester United manager. BBC Sport. May 8, 2013. Retrieved May 8, 2013. Sir Alex Ferguson to retire this summer, Manchester United confirm. Sky Sports. May 8, 2013. Retrieved May 8, 2013. Renee, Barney, May 8, 2013. End of an era as Alex Ferguson calls time at Manchester United. The Guardian. Retrieved May 8, 2013. Coates, Stefan. Platini, Ferguson a true visionary. Yahoo. Retrieved May 8, 2013. Alex Ferguson retires, David Cameron pays tribute to the Manchester United manager. The Daily Telegraph. May 8, 2013. Retrieved May 8, 2013. Sir Alex Ferguson resigns, football greats pay tribute. The Daily Telegraph. May 8, 2013. Retrieved May 8, 2013. Sir Alex Ferguson to retire. Fox Sports. May 8, 2013. Retrieved May 8, 2013. Man United boss Sir Alex Ferguson's Old Trafford farewell. BBC Sport. May 12, 2013. Retrieved May 13, 2013. Read the Fergie interview transcript. On holding grudges, Listening to American Civil War tapes on the way to work, handling Man United's millionaires and why Pele is the number one. Daily Mail October 2, 2013. Retrieved October 2, 2013. My autobiography is a football book, not just a news tornado. Daily Telegraph. October 22, 2013. Retrieved October 22, 2013. Fergie's explosive new book. Daily Mail October 22, 2013. Retrieved October 22, 2013. Alex Ferguson book launch, transcript from the press conference. Daily Telegraph. October 22, 2013. Retrieved October 23, 2013. Austin, Simon, September 12, 2006. Fergie v. Strachan. The BBC. Retrieved December 14, 2009. AB Sir Alex Ferguson fact file. Manchester Evening News November 6, 2006. Retrieved December 14, 2009. Sir Alex Ferguson takes his case to court. Racing and Sports. November 20, 2003. Retrieved December 14, 2009. Harris, Nick, February 3, 2004. McNair's legal action damages hopes of a deal. The Independent, UK. Archive from the original on January 22, 2010. Retrieved December 14, 2009. Campbell, Dennis, February 1, 2004. United won't answer the 99 questions. The Guardian, UK. Archive from the original on January 23, 2010. Retrieved December 14, 2009. BBC Three investigation raises new questions for Manchester United. BBC Press Office. May 25, 2004. Retrieved December 8, 2013. Harris, Nick, September 6, 2007. Ferguson will never talk to the BBC again. The Independent, UK. Retrieved December 14, 2009. White, Duncan, November 14, 2009. Sir Alex Ferguson will be forced to speak to the BBC under new Premier League rules. The Daily Telegraph, London. Archive from the original on November 18, 2009. Retrieved December 14, 2009. Laughlin, Andrew, September 16, 2010. BBC to give up Ferguson boycott battle. Digital Spy. Digital Spy. Archive from the original on June 11, 2011. Retrieved July 12, 2011. Ferguson explains Preston loan recalls. Manchester Evening News January 7, 2011. Retrieved May 8, 2011. Wallace, Sam, January 1, 2011. Preston fear the Ferguson effect as Stoke recall pair. The Independent, UK. Retrieved May 8, 2011. Sir Alex Ferguson fact file. Manchester Evening News November 6, 2006. Retrieved December 14, 2009. Ferguson banned for 2 matches. The BBC. December 14, 2007. Retrieved December 14, 2009. Ducker, James, November 19, 2008. Sir Alex Ferguson banned and fined PS 10,000. The Times, UK. Retrieved December 14, 2009. Sir Alex Ferguson banned for 2 games and fined after Alan Wiley jibe. The Guardian, UK. November 12, 2009. Archive from the original on November 15, 2009. Retrieved December 14, 2009. Ferguson suspended and fined. London, The Football Association. March 16, 2011. Retrieved March 16, 2011. Wallace, Sam, August 30, 2004. Wiley's Timekeeping Hands United Lifeline. The Daily Telegraph, UK. Retrieved February 21, 2010. Gray, City, October 24, 2009. It's a fact. Fergie time does exist in the Premier League. The Times, UK. Retrieved February 21, 2010. A.B. Pritchard, Charlotte, November 23, 2012. Fergie time, does it really exist? BBC News. British Broadcasting Corporation. Retrieved November 23, 2012. Collins, Paul, January 23, 2013. Giggs said to be first player to gain UEFA coaching badges while still playing. So is Reds legend lined up to succeed Fergie? Daily Mail. Retrieved January 23, 2013. Asbo and Checkmate Dictionary. BBC News, British Broadcasting Corporation. June 8, 2005. Smythe, Rob. March 23, 2012. Sir Alex Ferguson learns from mistakes to mastermind games with smile. The Guardian, Guardian News and Media. Sir Alex statue date confirmed. Manchester United FC. November 6, 2012. Retrieved November 6, 2012. Sir Alex Ferguson pride as Manchester United unveil statue. BBC Sport. November 23, 2012. Retrieved November 23, 2012. Sir Alex Ferguson has Trafford Road named in his honour. The Guardian. October 14, 2013. Retrieved January 9, 2014. Sir Alex Ferguson Way former Manchester United manager attends street renaming ceremony. The Independent. October 14, 2013. Retrieved January 9, 2014. Keegan, Mike. April 20, 2011. Home defeat for Sir Alex Ferguson as wife bans football from their house. Manchester Evening News. Retrieved July 12, 2011. UK politics levies for Labour. BBC News August 30, 1998. Retrieved October 30, 2009. The Socialist International. The Economist. May 11, 2013. Retrieved May 9, 2013. Ogden, Mark. June 6, 2007. Ferguson provides food for thought. The Daily Telegraph. Retrieved May 9, 2013. Campbell, Alistair. April 28, 2010. Sir Alex Ferguson supports Labour and says David Cameron's policies are about helping his own sort. Daily Mirror. Retrieved May 8, 2011. Good Lord. Could United boss Alex Ferguson be made a top toff? Manchester Evening News January 27, 2011. Retrieved May 9, 2013. MPs call for Sir Alex Ferguson to be made a Lord. Manchester Evening News May 9, 2013. Retrieved May 9, 2013. Lyons, James. McTague, Tom. August 1, 2013. Sir Alex Ferguson snubs peerage and seat in House of Lords. Mirror Online, Trinity Mirror. Retrieved August 1, 2013. Sir Alex Ferguson honoured News and Events Manchester Metropolitan University. moo.ac.uk. July 14, 2009. Retrieved October 4, 2013. News. sci-ang.moo.ac.uk. Retrieved October 4, 2013. SUNY UPL, December 19, 2012. Sir Alex Ferguson at Harvard, Manchester United boss has 9 honorary degrees. Mail Online. dailymail.co.uk. Retrieved October 4, 2013. ABC Barnes, Eddie. December 16, 2012. Alex Salmon silencing Scots, says Sir Alex Ferguson. The Scotsman, Johnston Publishing. Retrieved August 26, 2013. http://www.dailymail.co.uk/ sport/ football/ article-2527130/ h-of-the-box-alex-ferguson-wants-to-be-a-millionaire.html http://www.mirror.co.uk/ sport/ football/ news/ Alex-Ferguson-who-wants-millionaire-294046. Magowan, Alistair. June 23, 2008. What is a UEFA Pro license? BBC Sport. Retrieved May 29, 2011. National Football Museum. Honorary Presidents and Trustees. National Football Museum. Archive from the original on June 6, 2011. Retrieved July 12, 2011. League Managers Association 2011-12, PDF. League Managers Association. 2011. Pages 12. Retrieved July 12, 2011. Man Utd rename Old Trafford stand in Ferguson's honour. BBC News November 5, 2011. Retrieved November 5, 2011. Cass, Bob, May 15, 2011. Now for the 20th title, says the most successful manager in British football. Daily Mail, UK. Retrieved May 29, 2011. Sir Alex Ferguson trophies. Manchester United FC retrieved July 7, 2011. Rothman's Football Yearbook 1970-71, pages 724, 740 to 741. Queen Anne Press, London. Rothman's Football Yearbook 1971-72, pages 563, 537. Queen Anne Press, London. Rothman's Football Yearbook 1972-73, pages 648 to 649, 683 to 684, 688. Queen Anne Press, London. Rothman's Football Yearbook 1973-74, pages 572 to 573, 626 to 628. Queen Anne Press, London. Rothman's Football Yearbook 1974-75, pages 570 to 571, 642 to 644. Queen Anne Press, London. Boss greets landmark game. Manchester United. October 20, 2010. Retrieved September 14, 2011. United under Sir Alex Ferguson. Stratfordend.co.uk. Retrieved September 14, 2011.